Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Tom Rivera, and I'm the Associate Dean for Undergraduate Studies Emeritus. Emeritus means that I've been retired for a couple of years. And this afternoon, today is November the 14th, and it's approximately 1:30 in the afternoon, and we have some guests with us this afternoon. First guest is Mr. Ernie Colunga. Ernie. Mr. Albert Felix, Mr. Rudy Luna, Dr. Luis Gomez, and Mr. Frankie Gonzalez. Anyway, what we will be talking about this afternoon would be scouting in South Colton in the 1950s. We would like to talk about our troop 45 that we grew up with. And guys, that was 60 years ago that we were Boy Scouts. Isn't that something? 60 years ago, that was a heck of a long time, 60 years ago. And talking about our Troop 45, let's kind of kick it off, and let me ask you some questions to possibly stir and bring the memory back to the early 50s. First of all, if you do participate, tell us, when did you first join the Boy Scouts? And why did you join the Boy Scouts? And secondly, what were your experiences like being a Boy Scout? And thirdly, how much impact did that scouting experience have on your life? For example, in my case, in the 50, 51, 52, I joined the Boy Scout because my friends were in the Boy Scout, and they were going to the Boy Scouts and having meetings. Really, I do not remember where we had our meetings. Do you remember where we had our meetings?
Wilson.
At Wilson?
The bungalows.
Bungalow in the back.
Bungalows, yeah.
fact-
The last one, I think.
The last
wasn't it?
one.
Music room.
Yeah,
Okay.
music room, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Music room.
Okay. We had our meetings at the old Garfield School,
Yeah,
That's right.
and also the Wilson Junior High School. And we had them, where were we, at the bungalows?
yeah.
At
One
the-
bungalow,
At the far end of
Far
the,
end.
of the school?
It used to
Five
be,
bungalows, that was the last one.
yeah, it's the last
Yeah.
one.
And they went by
Very
grade.
last one.
Yeah.
Because
It was like
remember,
kindergarten, first, second,
if you
third.
remember, the bungalow was here, and the classroom was here, and Mr. Hosea was the last one at that end.
Yeah.
And the music room was over here on the side.
So Louis, we had it by grade level, eh?
Yeah, as I
Yeah.
recall. Yeah,
Okay.
I think we had kindergarten, then it went, they were going east. Then first grade, second grade, third grade. I
Yeah.
think the last one was fifth grade.
That was our class.
Art? Yeah, it was.
That was
yeah.
Hosea. Yeah.
Yeah, we used to have Hosea, we used to have Hosea.
I had him.
We did.
Yeah, that last,
Yeah,
that
I
last,
think so.
that last room was Hosea's room.
Because-
I remember that one.
Because what I think.
I got in there.
Actually, that almost all of us that were in the same club went to almost all the same classes together, like me and you,
Yeah,
and him,
yeah.
Willie. We all went to the same classes from actually kindergarten all the way to junior high. And junior high,
Wow.
in the Wilson, we changed it because they started messing us around, moving us around. Then when we went to Roosevelt, they moved us again. And then they finally put us all at the Cold Junior High.
Well, getting back to the Boy Scouts, Ernie,
Yes.
I remember that when we went to Boy Scout, the senior Boy Scout member was Ernie Colunga.
Kabul.
And well, the one that we have here
Yeah.
was Ernie Colunga. And Ernie, how did you get involved with Boy Scouts?
Well, I was in the sixth grade. I was 11 years old, and my compadre Charlie Sierra
Charlie, yeah.
was joining, and so was his older brother Chapo. And so they asked me to go with them. There was a great. We went hiking and showed us different things, survival tactics, and how to eat off the land, and so on and so forth. So it sounded interesting to me. So I joined at 11. I was in Miss Castorena's sixth grade class, I remember. It was the first year we went to junior high, because junior high was 6th, 7th, and 8th. And so we started attending the meetings. Very interesting. You had to become a tenderfoot meet those requirements, which was learning the Boy Scout oath, the Boy Scout laws primarily. And then it expanded to, from tenderfoot to second class, first class, Star Scout, Life Scout, and then Eagle.
Were you an Eagle?
I never made it. I only needed about 4 more merit badges. But I started going to San Bernardino Valley College, and my workload there was too heavy, man, for me to keep up with it, with the Scouts. I should have finished. I should have got my Eagle rank. I would have been the first one in Troop 45. But my workload at Valley College was just too heavy.
Well, Ernie was quite a role model in the Boy Scout, wasn't he? You know, we saw him as one of the leaders of the Boy Scout, and we all wanted to be like Ernie and be leaders, Boy Scout leaders like Ernie. But I don't think I ever passed tenderfoot Ernie.
When I joined, he was already above Clavul.
Yeah, senior patrol.
Yeah, when I joined, he was already Clavul. It was Ray Clavul and then Ernie. Because
Rudy,
he was the one that used to tell us to get up and all that.
Rudy, how old were you when you joined Boy Scout?
See, I really don't remember, tell you the
Fifth
truth,
grader?
Tom. Probably.
He had to be 11 years
Yeah,
old.
yeah,
Yeah,
around there.
11 or 12,
I'm not
yeah.
kidding you.
Yeah.
But like I said, because Hosea was right there and we were in the same boat. And like I said, we were all almost about the same age, and that was the in thing for us, because like Ernie just said, used to go out to do things. Ray I've always admired the man. I think he was one of the most creative persons I've ever met in my
Rudy,
life.
you mentioned Saul.
Yeah.
Who was Saul?
Sabud, go
Saul
ahead.
Duran.
Yeah,
He
correct.
was a leader. He was a senior patrol leader when I joined.
Yeah, patrol
Yeah.
leader.
Senior patrol leader.
Senior.
He was above all 4 patrols. We had 4
Yeah.
patrols in the troop,
Yeah.
and he was the head of all the patrols.
Did he become assistant scoutmaster?
No, he got out. He didn't want to take it. It was too much for him to say.
Patrol leader.
So that was Saul and Rudy.
Yeah.
Saul was one of the leaders that
He
was
was-
there when we joined Boy Scouts.
He was the one that, when Ray used to take us out to, right there in South Colton, to what do you call it? The river.
Santa Ana River.
He
yeah.
would be
To the
like-
mighty Santa
so and so.
Ana River.
And then when we used to come up here to the mountains, Clavul was like in control. Because I remember one time we came up here and with Ray Abril, and we were all in his truck, and all of a sudden Ray stopped, and Clavul and the senior guys got off, and they all ran. And we didn't know, los tapados, nosotros, we didn't know what was happening now. So they ran, and we found out why they ran. Because over here in the San Bernardino Mountains, they had cabins. And they went and got the cabins. And they got the cabins, they were overnight, and we did a cabin. We're the ones that had to sleep outside. And Clavul was he knew how to do it. I mean, he knew la movida.
He wasn't no dummy. No.
No.
Now getting back to, how did the troop start? How did Troop 45 start?
I really don't know about that.
How did it start? Ernie?
Ernie-
Okay, I got a history here someplace, and it was run by a Mr. Ross. In 1942, he was drafted to go into World War II to serve, and Ray took over the troop then, 1942. I don't know how old, you have to do the math, because he died when he was 93. So if you do the math, evidently he was, I think he was married by that time. Maybe had 1 or 2 kids.
Never mind.
1942, you figure that's a long time.
Well, he would because Sonny Ray Abril Jr. was born in 1932, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he must have been.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So at any rate, Ray took it over and started recruiting the boys from South Colton. And back then, we had a sponsor. We were sponsored by the Rotaries. Because I remember I did a drawing of a pup tent with a troop flag over it. And it had a ribbon on there saying Rotary Club. In other words, they were our sponsor, you know. But like we said earlier, we used to meet in the music group in Bungalow at Garfield, and we'd meet once a week, I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it was on a
in the
Thursday.
evening. in the
Yeah,
evening,
on a Thursday, I believe it was.
What time was it, Lou? Do you
Oh,
remember?
man, like
6?
about 5 or 6 o'clock. I think it was around 6 o'clock.
And how
yeah.
long were the meetings, Lou?
About an hour and a half, maybe a couple of hours, depended. Sometimes we had the, those raids out there in the Santa Ana River, we
Oh,
formed
yeah.
2 teams.
Winnie Bakes.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
or
Winnie
Winnie Bakes out there in the Santa Ana River at
Instead of a
night.
regular meeting,
You know,
we go out
that
to the river.
It was pretty neat. But when we had the contest, stealing the flag, we'd form 2 battalions, 2 opposing battalions at night on the Santa Ana River.
A lot of sand.
And the object was to steal the flag. Whoever got the flag were the winners.
What did we call that game?
Pig come over the hill.
Pigs come over the hill. Pigs come over
Oh, boy,
the hill.
Pig come over the hill. I remember that one, man.
Getting back to the meetings, Lou, what did we do at the meetings?
Oh man!
There at the bungalow.
Well, at first to me they seemed it was kind of formal because it's kind of like the military in a sense. Of course, I never had any experience there in the military, prior to that time. But they would bring the meeting to order and discuss the badges, especially the beginners like myself, how to become a tenderfoot. What are the regulations? What are the qualifications and so on, and the things you have to study and all that. And we would sing songs, kind of patriotic songs, "Viva la Company" and "Alouette,"
Alouette, yeah.
and learn stuff like that. And at the same time, we would also learn knot tying, and we had contests. Remember
Yeah.
the contests we used to have? And
Drop it.
yeah, and if you were the first one, you won that particular round. And then Shipshank or Bowling.
The one that
whatever.
had two loops.
Two loops,
Both
yeah.
of the two.
Yeah, that was a boat.
Shipshank.
That was a Shipshank.
Shipshank.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, those kinds of things, but at the same
Still there, how
time,
about that?
yeah. I never thought I still had that. Yeah. But stuff like that, and we talk about the different regulations and what we had to do, and do some assessments, as I recall. You still have to do this. Okay.
And then we discussed upcoming activities, camporees and
También.
hikes that we were gonna, that
Exactly.
we were planning.
Exactly.
Courts
And
of
so
honor.
forth. Courts of-
And Ernie, we had a song. We had a Boy Scout song.
Yeah,
And who wrote that song?
this was written by Manuel Padilla. He's an old pioneer of South Colton. And he wrote this for the troop. A lot of people,
He did?
even you
Manuel?
guys didn't know we had a song.
We did
He
not.
wrote it? Manuel Padilla, you
Can I
said?
read, can I read it?
Well, I would prefer that you sing it, but if you
No,
can't sing it.
I can't carry a tune in a bucket, man. Okay, the lyrics
Bring a
are,
bucket.
we're the Boy Scouts of America, with pride we salute our flag. We are always smiling for our life is grand. We have pledged our life to a good deed every day. Our motto is, be prepared, boys, always be prepared. Our scout laws lead the way. We're the Boy Scouts of America, loyal and true to our country, to our God, our country, and you. And this was written by a local pioneer. He was affiliated with the Boy Scouts in the beginning. And he wrote that for us. And we'd sing it every once in a while, but it finally died out. Some of you guys really remember it, do you?
What was his name?
Manuel Padilla. He was a councilman in Colton.
Magnino.
Yeah.
It's Magnino.
Yeah?
Yeah, you know how to baptize
And
him.
he was very active in the community.
He was.
He was very active. I think he was president of the Progresistas, and he was very involved with Congress of Community Clubs, and he was also very involved in social issues that we had in South Colton.
Hot carriers of the unions here in San
Yeah.
Bernardino.
Union, right, wasn't it?
He was a union secretary
Yeah.
for many years.
Yeah.
Union
That's what it was.
secretary for many years. Now, we've talked about Ray Abril. We've mentioned Ray Abril several times. Who was Ray Abril? He was our scoutmaster for many years, and
A surrogate father for a lot of us guys because our dads were
That's true.
they're off working or drinking or whatever, and did take care of day-to-day things like Ray did for us. And by following the Scout laws, it was a very, very good guide to live by. And Ray made sure that we lived up to those Scout laws.
By example, you know.
By example.
Ray.
Mhm.
I have to agree 100% with you on that.
And he always had time. He always had time for us to the point that his wife would get angry at him. You know? No, really.
Yeah, it did.
And
Nelly.
Nelly, I remember once Saúl Duran, a senior patrol leader, went over there looking for Ray. She said, "I was throwing rocks at him." Of course, Sal laughed and left. You know, he just laughed at that. But
Did Ray have a family or anything?
oh yes, he had three boys: Ray Abreu Jr., Don, and Dickie, and then a daughter by the name of Linda. She's the only one that survives to this day now.
Yeah.
They're all passed away.
And where did he live, Ernie?
He lived on N Street
That's it, there in South Colton.
in South Colton.
His house is still there?
330, I'll never forget that address, 330 East End Street in South Colton. I
That's-
think Sonny Abreu, Ray Abreu Jr.'s son still lives there. Because after Ray passed away senior, Ray Abreu Jr. moved into the house and brought up his family there. And I think now that Ray Abreu Jr. is gone, Sonny we used to call him,
Yeah.
passed away, the son still lived there with his family.
So
One of his sons.
who got the house, the other house? The one over
The one
by
on
the
F
high
Street?
school? By the high
His
school?
wife,
His wife got that one?
like his second wife.
Yeah. 'Cause we used to go over there and talk to him once in a while. And there was always this guy with him. He was an Italiano. And he always had a jug. And yoga, actually.
Yeah,
And we used to go once in a while just to help him make his life miserable, right?
yeah.
Because, you know, we were younger. And he would always, his camarada would always offer us wine. And we would always look at him and we looked at Ray and said, no, thank you. Like you just said, it was a father image thing to
Oh,
us.
yeah,
You know,
definitely.
you had to respect him. I mean,
Yeah.
anybody, I don't think there was a guy in the troops that didn't respect him. I never heard anybody talk about him,
No.
even afterwards. I mean,
You know that house there on F Street? That's what
Yeah.
you're talking about,
Yeah.
right? Well, that was an empty lot, and I was 14 years old.
Yeah.
And I drew up the blueprints for his house.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I was
didn't
14
know
years
that.
old. Got a merit badge out of it, and that was it. Yeah, but at 14, I drew the floor plans for it.
Oh, I
And
didn't
they
know
took
you-
it downtown, took it unpassed, and they passed, no problem.
I did not know that.
The only thing they needed was a exact location, you know, by degrees and so on and so forth, where the lot was. So I had to print that in later on, but I took 3 years of architectural drawing.
Now, was Ray's position as scoutmaster, was it a completely volunteer? Or was it something that he was paid for by the city
Oh,
or the school
no.
district?
I think it was all volunteer.
Strictly volunteer.
He worked for the school district, as I recall. He
Yeah.
was the lead.
Painter.
The leader.
He's a painter.
Painter, yeah, that's right, that's right.
And a
I remember-
carpenter.
And man, he was
Painter.
always on the go, always on the go.
All the time,
And
all
then-
the time.
Yeah, yeah, and then, you know, when I joined, you know, wow, I know this person, you know. Anyway, in later life, you know, as I proceeded through my endeavors, you know, I always thought of him, you know, he really was a father figure. He was,
Sure he was.
he was a
Yes, he
counselor,
was.
he was a teacher, he guided us in many ways, and all positive, all positive. And he didn't coddle us, he didn't coddle
no.
us. He, you know, man, he, well, I think he regarded us as his kids.
I believe he did what he had to
His
do
That's
to
why-
help
that's why-
us straighten
I
out.
think so.
That's why I put that that's what he used to say all the time. Those are my boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
They're all my boys. Yeah.
Manny, can you zoom in on this picture here? And Ernie, can you point to who Ray on that picture is? And then some of the
Okay.
guys?
Okay, that's Rare Brill, our senior. That's the way he looked. He was a big, tall,
Yeah.
Rare Brill, chested, big man.
Mhm.
And then some of these guys that I drew in here, that's Richard Mendoza, Tony D'Arcy, Beto Salazar, Shaboom,
Jabu, wow.
this is Sal Duran, our leader. That's Ule. What was his real name?
Manuel.
Manuel.
Salcedo.
Salcedo. David Ramirez.
Gunner.
Gunner. There you
Oh,
go.
that's me in the middle there with a hat on. That's Tony D'Arcy, right?
Yeah.
And that's Pinky, his brother. He had a big smile, a lot of teeth like that. And there's Joy Yala over here. And I forget who the other ones are.
You got good memory. You got good memory.
They look like that.
I'm not kidding, you got,
Yeah, you can tell that Gunner, man. You know, that's really, you can tell who they are. And Saul is very handsome. Remember that?
Yeah.
Saul Duran?
you still around?
Yeah.
You still around?
Yeah, he lives in Rancho.
I tried to get a hold of him, Rudy, and I just couldn't get a hold of him.
I used to
Manny, did
talk-
you get a good picture of the, of all the guys that were in the troop? Yeah, we
I'll
had
tell-
more, over the years, we had more people that
I'll
participated.
tell you a little story about Ule. We came up here to Camp Arataba, or one of the,
Yeah.
one of the
Bart
things
Flats.
up here.
Yeah.
And Ule was a very heavy person. You know, he was, you know, that's why they called him Ule.
Heavy
Well,
dude.
anyway, we came up here and then Ray said, some of you guys go up, climb the mountains. And some of us got together, it was about 5 or 6 of us that went. And then Ule, nobody wanted actually to hang around with him because he was too heavy. But he came with us. And we couldn't figure out how to get him from one place to another because it was very heavy. So these guys, I can't remember the guys that were with it. But anyway, they went and got a rope and tied Ule around him. And we started pulling up the mountain. Well, we went about, I think it was about, maybe about 40 yards. Forget about this, we ain't climbing no more. And we all came back down. But we never told him. You know, we never told him.
But you know,
But it was just that he was shut.
Yeah, but you know, what I remember about Ule is that when we had the contest, the knot tying contest,
Yeah.
man, he was the best. Done. He was really fast.
He was a
Yes,
good
you
person.
drawing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I got some pictures in here. I'll show you guys later.
Oh, yeah?
About me teaching the guys first aid.
Over at Camp
Camp
Arataba,
Yeah.
speaking about that one,
Yeah.
I remember Vivi Chavez, El Cabezón,
See,
Charlie Sierra. They got out, it was a lake, I think it was Jinx Lake.
Jim Slater.
It was frozen. And in the middle of the place, there was water. They want to go swimming. They were dead set of going swimming. And stripped down to their shorts, got in, and both Charlie and Vivi Chavez, boom, into that freezing water.
I got a picture of that.
Did you?
Yeah.
Ay, ay, ay. Qué bárbaro. ¡Eh, come on in, güey! ¡Eh! ¡Están locos!
you know, Albert, talking about going camping and, you know, just doing different things with Ray, how did he transport us to these different activities? What did he have?
Just
Truck.
pickup.
Pickup truck.
Pickup truck?
Yeah.
Pickup.
A GMC.
What year? A GMC, what year?
About 53, 54.
53, 54 GMC?
Yeah.
And he would crowd us all in?
All the time. All the time.
There.
Yeah,
all of
Man, then you're freezing back there. You know.
Ángela. My God.
Manny, can you take
That's the one,
get a
all
close-up
right.
of that one?
Wow. That's cool.
Let's see.
Give it to Rudy, have it.
That's it.
See, that's Charlie in his shorts.
Charlie Sierra.
Rudy, hold it to the camera so he can take it. Now, Ernie, you described that a minute ago. What is this? That Albert talked about, they
The
jumping
lake.
into the frozen
Oh, yeah,
lake?
you tell him.
Lake.
The lake. Oh, well, Jake's Lake. It was
Frozen.
frozen. And Art, El Cabezón, pues, and Charlie Sierra, estaban tercos that they wanted to go in swimming. Swimming, period. Swimming. Not just jump in the lake.
Oh, man.
Well,
So-
eventually they stripped down to their shorts, and both of them walked into where it's all frozen,
Well back.
and then went to where the hole was in the lake, boom. And they stayed there quite a while, swimming back and forth and all that stuff.
Well, Ernie, you have a whole bunch of pictures. Ernie, can we borrow those pictures so we can scan them and include them?
Right there.
Oh, sorry.
But anyway, getting back to how he transported us,
Okay.
a lot of time we were just like packed like sardines. I mean, if a cop would ever stopped us, he would give Ray a ticket.
Could never happen.
Because
Yeah.
a lot of time we were going up the mountains, and a lot of time it was
Well,
snowing.
when he was transporting
Remember?
us to go
Yeah.
camping, that's when we would have gotten in
Yeah.
trouble. He would have.
So
I'm not
it was
kidding.
packing the scouts plus.
Plus
gear,
our gear, all our gear.
And,
So you can imagine it was,
and,
it was a hassle, man. It was
Yeah.
really a hassle.
back.
But that was before the law that, you know,
Yeah,
You know-
well, good thing, because
the law,
if that lot had been in,
yeah, it didn't
in act
exist
in that
then.
time,
force.
poor Ray would have been
Yeah, they were taking his license
in
away.
trouble.
In this picture, there's 12 of us. He got all 12 of us in the back of that pickup.
Yeah.
Plus our sleeping bags, plus our tents, plus our
All our goodies, all
our
everything.
packs,
Yeah.
you know?
That's
And he
good.
transported it in that the truck's in the back.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see it.
Besides that, we talked about some of the things that Ray encouraged us to do. One of the things was he would also organize us as a baseball, softball team, and a basketball team, and then we would go and play against San Bernardino, the home of Neighborly
The home of
Service.
Neighborly Service.
The home of
Yeah.
Neighborly Service.
Still there,
Yeah.
still there.
Do you remember that, Al?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Still there.
And what impact did that have on you, Al? You know, coaching and being part of the team that went to the Home and Neighborly Service?
Well, I think the majority, I believe, you want to be on a team. You want to belong to a team. You want to be with your buddies. You want to be with your friends. They're,
He'll tell us.
he's getting together a team. He's looking for players. You want to go play? Go sign up. That's all you had to do. Show up, sign up, let's go. Boom. That was it. No regulations and all this. You got to be 7 foot tall and all this stuff.
Elton Baylor and all that. Magic Johnson.
You got to pitch the ball 90 miles an hour and all that stuff. But man, it was just having a good time. Well, it first started here at Veterans Park, of course. Right there, everything was there.
No, Veterans Park was in South Colton.
South Colton
Yeah.
Park.
In South
Well,
Colton.
Veterans Park, yes.
Yeah, and then we
Vet
went,
Park, right.
to prepare
And
the
everything
field.
started
Yeah.
right there, everything.
And with his little pickup, he would prepare the field, the infield,
Drag it,
drag it, and we would help him. And then we would have
Line
a
it.
little team.
Oh, top.
You were the catcher,
No,
Albert, you were the catcher. Yeah. Rudy, you pitched, huh?
yeah, me and
You
Tony
pitched.
D'Arcy.
Yeah.
Tony Diarcy.
D'Arcy.
Yeah, and I played second.
Sometimes I think Tony was going to break his arm. He was those Flacco, you remember? He was skinny.
Yeah.
I talked to some guys that I used to work at, when I used to work with this other company, and some of the guys, one time he came up to me and asked me, he said, "You're Rudy, aren't you?" I said, "Yeah, I had just started working." He said, "I remember you, and you and the other guy. Which one?" He said, "They're all the long, tall one." He said, "Why?" He said, "You guys were
Whoa,
pitchers."
wow.
I said, "Yeah." He said, "I remember you used to pitch pretty fast, but the other guy had such a wind up, and he threw so slow, we couldn't hit him. I mean, we couldn't figure out
It was a
why does he
deceiver.
throw it so slow. We can't hit him. You know how? Because you want to kill it." And Tony was that big wind up, big tall guy, and then he would throw it very slow. And
Yeah.
he was striking him out. He said, "I remember you for that."
That was his changeup.
Albert,
And that was his only wind up, his only pitch.
Albert, you mentioned that, and we talked about Ray being a good role model, a hero.
I think so, man.
Father image.
I think so.
And then you mentioned that you try to emulate him,
I remember him,
and then you carried on to your.
and then when my girls wanted to start playing softball, I says, "Okay, I'll go sign you up." So Elizabeth Davis had just opened up that girls' ballpark
Yeah, I remember.
at the North Park over there. Strictly for, as a matter of fact, the mayor of Colton
Frank?
was the one that originated the girls' softball thing. Big, heavy.
But tell us about your coaching.
¿Cómo se llamaba el señor?
I know who you're
Rimbaud, Rimbaud.
Tell us about your
Carl.
coaching and
Carl.
the
Carl.
impact that
Carl
Ray had on you.
Carl Rimbaud, yeah.
Carl.
The
Well,
impact-
anyways,
Yeah.
my girls wanted to play softball, and I took them down. I took them down to go sign up at the Rimbaud. And they signed up, and a bunch of their friends también were there and everything, and they were going to get together, and other guys were already there that supposedly had teams. And I started, I just started hanging around to check out to see if these guys knew anything about ball. Because I didn't want to leave my kid just there they're on a team, but are they going to be taught anything? That was my main thing. If you're gonna play ball, I want you to be taught right. Oh, okay, that. So I stayed around, and they drafted teams and all this stuff, and started having practices, and I kept going to these so-called practices, and to me they were a joke, man. The guys, all they had these girls doing was throw the ball back and forth. And I asked one of the guys that was supposed to be the coach, what are the kids learning by throwing the ball back and forth? Well, I don't know, everybody else is doing it, so I just have them do it too. No. Or I put on the shoe right away. No. Some of these girls don't even know what a baseball glove is. You gotta show them where it belongs, on what hand, how to use it, how to catch the ball, how to get the ball with the other hand and throw it. You gotta start from scratch. You just don't in the middle and start throwing the ball back and forth and run to the base and all that stuff. It was crazy. So there were people that were running the league that I knew from football, because I was already involved with the football program. And he said, "Oh, I know what you mean now. You know what? This is no good for the league. Why don't you stick around and help?" No. I just wanted to sign. I wanted to do my job, sign my kids up, but I didn't want to sign them up and leave them and have nobody teach them anything. If they're going to play ball, they're going to have to learn how to play ball first. Oh, okay. Well, anyways, that went on until the people that were running the league, they really talked me into getting involved with the league so I could help them get organized, how to start getting organized with a team. Start from step 1, step 2, and so on and so on. So I did that, and everything went fine. So I stayed there for 23 years with the girls softball, and it was all great. Oh man, there was some super girl athletes that
But
went through that program.
besides that, my take on that, Al, is that you had a tremendous, Ray Abril had a tremendous influence
Well, he did
in
because
your life in terms of giving back to the community and giving of yourself and coaching for that many years. And altogether, I think you coached about 40 years in Colton,
I did.
about 40 years.
So when after the little league, not little league, but after the girls softball, my kid had just become of age to go play little league, and he didn't. At first, he didn't want to play little league. He said he wasn't going to play little league. He said, "You better be sure because they're having sign-ups right now." And So when he finally decided that he wanted to play little league, he said, "Come on, Dad, take me to. I want to go play little league. Everybody, all my friends are going to play. So I always, Ken Hubbs, Sign-ups closed, too many ball players. I went to the other one, Colton Terrace, Muslu League, Carrion Park. Same thing over there. Couldn't get him in. And somebody suggested San Marino, Ballard Park on 5th Street, next to the pool,
Yeah.
right there. Brand new field had just opened up. They were just opening up a brand new league. Vámonos. I took him over there to play, well, to sign him up anyways. And the same thing happened there then that was gonna happen with the girls. The guy that was gonna take over run the team, he did not know Jack from Shinola.
So let me go back then, Al, let me go back. So my point is that being involved in Boy Scouts, being well acquainted with Ray, and having that tremendous influence that he had in your younger life, that you were able to take over, be a coach, and continue being a coach for many, many years. And like I mentioned before, about 40 years. Now, do the kids that you coach, do they come and say hello and how are you, coach?
Yeah, when they run into him on the street or market or whatever, they'll come up to me and bump into me, friendly little bump. Hi, and it's, hi, coach, how you doing?
That's good.
And so help me, I remember them, who they are, what they play, what even position they played. That's in, the girls from the Rimbaugh League over there, and the football players from the Colton Youth Football, from the high school. There, I did the same thing with them. My son wanted to play football. He really loved football. I says, okay, you're not gonna sign up and then just say you don't want to because it's too rough. If you're gonna sign up, you're gonna go and practice, and then go out and play hard all the time. You understand me, son? Oh, Dad, what if I'm tired? If you're tired, you play tired. You get more tired by playing, but you'll get a good feeling, son. Well, he was only 9 years old. He had just turned 9. So he didn't know what the heck he wanted, really.
How scouting impacted your life? I know in my case, going through the scout laws, Louis, the scout is what? Trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. And I think when I look at all our guys that Ernie has here, I don't think anybody, I think everybody followed through on that scout.
They all fell in that
Yeah.
in that mode, really.
I think it had an effect on us. The thing that I recall going through, my life so far, the motto, be prepared.
Oh,
And be
The motto.
prepared, man, be prepared, I think took me from elementary school all the way through graduate school. Because, I always thought, oh, I better get ready. I better make sure, let me anticipate something else, And that really had an effect on me. Besides the scout laws, that one phrase, be prepared, man, it just had a tremendous impact on me.
What about the slogan, do a good turn daily?
Oh, man.
También, ¿verdad?
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
all of us are still involved in some type of community activity. Albert coaching for 40 years. You're with Kiwanis, and you also were in education for many, many years. And Ernie, you still keep active in scholarship fundraising.
Oh, definitely, yeah, give back to the community, something that they didn't do for us.
That's right.
Right.
Great.
And then Frankie, took over the 245 after we were long gone. And what do you have there, Louis?
Oh, this was the panoramic picture that was taken on May of 2001. when we paid tribute to Ray Abril Sr., our longtime scoutmaster. And wow.
What date was that, Louis?
It was in May of 2001
May of 2001.
at the Radisson Hotel in San Bernardino.
Oh, I remember that. I remember that.
Yeah, it was, were you involved with the planning, Ernie? Anyway,
yeah.
the planning started in January, and then we thought, yeah, we will have the banquet for Ray in May. And then we would visit Ray's at, this is where we're at with the plans, and this is where the plans are coming to. And that would keep him going. And then we went to the hospital, and we would still give an update on the plans that we were preparing for that big banquet. And you know, guys, we had the banquet on a Saturday. What day, Louis?
For the
I don't remember the exact date.
17th of May,
17th of May.
2003.
17th of May, 2003. We had a big banquet, and how many people showed up? About 300?
Over 300.
Over 300 people showed up and played, and these were all the Boy Scouts and their families. And then we took a picture of them, and you have a picture of that. And we'll scan the picture so we can include it in this talk. But Ray could not make it to the banquet without Ernie.
No, because he was too sick.
He was sick in the
93 years old.
hospital. And Ernie, remember that the next day at noon, Sunday at noon, Ray passed away, brother.
He lasted that long.
Yeah, so he lasted until the banquet was over.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
He lasted until the banquet was over.
And Sonny Abril, his son, you know, he mentioned that, he said, my dad was waiting. He was waiting until he had the banquet. And then,
You know, getting back to the scout thing here, trustworthy and all this stuff, you know, I don't think, there's a person
Well-
in our group and in the Boy Scouts, when we were on the Boy Scouts, I think that of all the guys, I think they all agree on what this was. Because as we grew up, there was no violence in South Colton. There was no,
Not that
like-
generation.
there you go, like today, like barrios are. I mean, when we were the Boy Scouts, actually, we all did obey this. We did, and as we grew older and we started getting up in years, we started going our separate ways. But the thing is that I know that we never had violence because of what we had here.
Yeah,
And we were always together. I mean, whether Ray had us playing basketball, baseball, hiking, he was always, like Bernie said a little while ago, he was the guy that motivated everybody, and we all obey this because of him. And I'm not kidding, like I saw a little while ago, I've always been very grateful to him. And I used to tell Sonny about it. I said, your dad, I mean, a lot of guys are here because of what Ray did. And one time, actually, I don't know who I was talking to, and it came into my mind. I said, you know what? I can never understand why he hasn't got nothing, recognition for it. School, park. I'm talking about Ray, period. Not Sonny, Ray.
See,
Because what we
Scoutmaster.
did ours in the Boy Scouts and those pictures, we have never actually paid attention to at least have a flag or something. But we never have, because we all went our separate ways. But we all here that we're talking right now, we're all together. And we always bring Ray back into the game. But the thing is that people outside, like Colton right now, there's nobody there anymore for us. There's no more, it's only a handful of us that are there. And we know Ray, like that picture right there. Those are the people right there that knew Ray. Other than that, you say Ray Abril in South Colton? Who's that?
yeah.
You go to the school board?
Well, they think of Junior.
Who's that? Yeah.
You know that the Arrowhead District, the Boy Scouts of
We'll
America.
stop here with Louis. We'll stop here with
I think
Louis.
you have like 10 minutes left with the battery.
Oh, okay, I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Yeah, so
We can,
just
we can
keep
edit that out later
Go ahead.
on. Okay, Louis, I'm
Remember
sorry.
that Sietenogenes Navarro, who was working with, he was one of the directors working with the Arrowhead District
you go.
of Boy Scouts of America.